Hey treasures, welcome back to my channel. Actually been quite a few since I've filmed. I have started a podcast with my sister. If you guys want to check that out and subscribe, you'll be a babe. That podcast is about up and coming TV shows. It's not even up and coming, it's just about like TV shows and giving you all like the juice about it so you don't waste your time, you know. It's about our opinions about it. It's a real conversation starter. So if you guys want to be a babe and subscribe, again, that will be in the description bar down below. So I am back and I'm going to be giving you guys a juicy video because it actually just happened to me. I've been so busy recently that I'm like, I feel like it actually always happens around this time of year where I take like a huge lull in like posting, and especially with like this new podcast, you know, we're trying to get it off the ground. So I'm like choking. I'm going to be giving you guys a story. And of course it's about a guy. And of course it's about a guy that, you know, wasn't perfect, wasn't the one. And it actually happened quite recently. So if you guys want to know about the red flag that I ignored and I literally think I'm going to be single forever, then continue watching. This is actually quite recent. I'm not going to give you guys like the full timeline because I don't want to be super invasive in this person's life. But yeah, so we're going to give this guy a name, and his name is going to be Johnny. And honestly, only he's going to know who I'm talking about, so whatever. I don't even care if he sees this. So anyways, I met Johnny, and at first, Johnny was just being my friend. I had like 4 crushes at the not crushes, but like I had like 4 guys I was talking to, and I actually was starting to develop a crush on somebody else, and Johnny was kind of just like my friend. Like I didn't look at him in any other way, but I remember I saw him and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be friends. So Johnny and I became friends, and I would say at this time I was honestly, like, again, this was like pretty recent, so I'm still in this era now, kind of, sort of, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even down for a relationship. I don't even think I'm ready for one. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about why I'm so kind of jaded, then I will leave that one linked down below as well. But it's the Psycho Sag series. Catch yourself up. Basically, in this era where I was like, I don't want to date, but like I miss waking up to like morning messages. Like I miss, you know, man's being like, hey baby, how was your day? You know, I missed all that stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna get a couple of them because, you know, men always disappoint. And that way, like, if one falls through, which they always do, you know, I basically had a system, right? So Johnny was just my friend, and him and I started talking more and more, and I wasn't taking it as anything. I was just taking it as like, he's my friend. And then like we just started talking more, and he started to call me his lover. Now when he said lover, I was kind of like, oh, lover, okay, like how did I upgrade? And he's like, yep, you are. And I didn't take it as like, ooh, I was starting to get a crush on him then. Like I didn't. I was just like, okay, like whatever, do your thing, boo boo, like you're 105, so cool. And I just started talking like every single day. All of a sudden I'm noticing, and we're kind of having like these deep talks that, you know, those ones that like sneak up on you, like you literally ask like what your favorite ice cream is, and all of a sudden you're talking about like your childhood. It was like one of those conversations, and we were on the same page with so many different things that it was crazy, and it felt like stars aligning. I would tell him, and I'd just be like, well, I have this guy, like, and be straight up with him. And he was like, oh, okay, so like when is it gonna be my turn to get like your private attention or whatever? And I was just like, I don't know, because at this point, like, he was still my friend, and I, even though I was trying to like kind of develop like a crush on him, I was kind of like, And so let's fast forward, I would say like a couple days, me and him started having more of those talks, and then we started to call each other like babe, and he started to call me like baby, and that was like, I was eating that shit up because I was missing that. The guys kind of just like faded in the dust because they were busy, I was busy, And so, you know, our times never aligned with me and these other guys, but for some reason with Johnny, like, it always like aligned. So him and I started talking more, and eventually, like, I kind of just focused on him, which is what I do. I hate it about myself. I get this like tunnel vision like a fucking horse, or I get like this with like blinders, and I just focus on one person. Even if I try not to, it just happens. Loyalty, I wish I didn't have loyalty. I'm so sorry. Like, I wish I wasn't loyal because no one knows. I digress. So basically, him and I start and we become like this thing. And so shortly after him and I become like this, it was kind of like agreed upon where we were like, yeah, it's like don't ask, don't tell. But at the same time, like, you're mine whenever we're talking, and I'm yours whenever we're talking. We're talking for, like, a few minutes, and he ends up leaving me, telling me he got busy, and I'm like, okay, cool, like, do your thing. And then I'm realizing that you're saying you're busy, but yet you're posting. So how are you posting, but you're telling me that you're busy, which is why we stopped talking, like... And so I was like, okay, you're gonna lie to me? Cool. So basically after that, he came back, like, I would say, like, maybe, like, an hour later. And I was like, nope, have your moment. Go ahead, do you. And he replies to me, what are you talking about? And I'm like, have your moment. Have your fun. I don't mean to spoil it. Continue. And he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I just don't play that, so I wasn't replying because I'm just like, okay, you're gonna be sitting here on your lies, like, I'm not sitting with you. And so then he basically fesses up in my silence, and like, I'm sorry, like, I wasn't, you know, like, talking to other, like, girls or anything like that, like, but I'm sorry. And he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna remove myself because I don't want to hurt you, and so I'm just gonna, you know, leave you alone, and, like, I'm so sorry. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, really? Like, you basically pursued me. This is my problem. You pursued me hardcore, and you wanted to start this shit with me. I catch you in something that is your fault. Instead of you being a man and fixing it, you decide to just go. Like, and this is my problem. Like, I keep running into people that pull up this, like, fake shit, saying that they're, like, a real man, you know? And then they do shit like this, and it's the most, like, pussy ever. So I'm just like, so seriously, you're gonna leave after that? After you're in the wrong, you could just apologize up, you know? Because we were so new that it didn't even matter. Like, as long as you don't lie to me, like, we're good. And so basically after that, I am telling him, like, okay, well, peace out then. If you want to go, then go. But if you want to keep this thing going, then you need to follow these 3 rules. After that, I would say fast forward like a week, we got into another fight. And with that fight, he basically stops replying to me because he ended up talking about my body and telling me that he is into, like, a specific body part, and I, you know, don't have that body part. So I'm telling him this, and he's just like, oh, okay, well, you're gonna have to do some squats. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, honey, like, you're not perfect. You're absolutely, like, if I was to say that you were my type and, like, I would choose you out of, like, a bunch of people that were kind of like you, would I choose you? I wouldn't. But obviously, you know, I have feelings for you surpass, you know, looks and everything like that. Like, I'm not a kid anymore. And I also would never ever tell somebody, like, oh, you like that, you're this, well, you need to work on it then to be with me. Like, excuse me? So I basically came at him and I was like, don't ever say that shit to me again. That's so disrespectful. And, you know, if you like that, then peace the fuck out. I don't really care. And so then he basically is just like, oh, wow, sorry. But he's saying it like, oh, my God, sorry, like, relax, which is, to me, not sincere. And so, anyways, after that, I was like, okay, well, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. The thing is with me is, like, if I fight with you, whatever, and me and you are going to continue, I want you to understand where I'm coming from always so that we don't run into the same problem over and over again and you can see my side. Like, I need someone that is empathetic to basically feel what I feel so that they would never do it again. You get where I'm coming from. So after that, I'm like, okay, whatever. I had to get to work after like a couple hours, and he still wasn't replying. And I was like, so I'm trying to like neutralize us. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope you have like a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. And I put like a heart. And then I come home and I get no message from him. So this is like 6-7 hours later. I get nothing from him. And I'm like, wow, you're going to end over this shit? Like, this is crazy. Basically, after that whole thing, like, can we just forget about Ben's? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you like that. Just like, wow. But like, can we just forget it ever happened? And okay, if you're a man, you're not supposed to forget what ever happened. You're supposed to learn from it so that it doesn't repeat itself. Anyways, let's fast forward to a couple days ago. So basically, I got into this mode where after that whole fight, things for me were not the same. Like, I felt like I liked him so much, and then after that happened, and the way that he reacted and everything like that, because obviously, like, if you have your heart broken and then you meet somebody else, you think that they're not going to hurt you because you're not going to get into it if you think that they're going to hurt you the same way, right? So when he started to show me like true colors about the type of not man he was, I was starting to basically fall back because I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing this not man shit ever again. So I started to fall back. And so I was like, I still liked him. I still cared about him a lot, but I didn't want to be with him anymore because I was just like, I'm not doing, the last ever person I'm ever going to be in a relationship with needs to be a man. So I was falling back, but I still cared about him. So I was probably giving him mixed signals. Now, something happened in my life like a couple days ago that was just so off-putting, and I was just in tears. And so I started talking to him about it. I started talking about like all the problems in my life without much context. And I started talking about him and like how, you know, he is kind of lacking in certain aspects for me. And basically, he just bailed out. Like, after I did that, which I knew he was going to bail out because, like, if you're a little, then you're obviously going to bail out with what I'm saying instead of just fixing it. And so I knew that me coming out all this stuff and he was trying to help me, but then, like, me, you know, criticizing him in a way, that in a small way, which he could easily fix. Like, I went to all my other guy friends and I'm like, hey, is this a big deal? I went to everybody. Is this a big deal? And they're all just like, no. If it's your girl, then you should do it. So he's just like, you know what? I'm done with this. Okay, cool. Bye. And so then he messages me like literally, I would say probably about like 13 hours later. And I just don't even read it. I'm just like, whatever. I don't even care. Like, I'm done with you. This was exactly what I wanted. Like, as the thing is too, is like if someone tells me that they're heartbroken and I meet them and then me and them end up getting together, I never want to be the next heartbreaker. I don't know what it is about me. I know what it is, but like I don't know what it is about me. Even if it's hurting me and I don't want to be with you, I will just self-sabotage instead. And not even self-sabotage, but I'll just sabotage it unknowingly so that they'll break up with me so that I'm not the villain in their story. So that's basically what I did. I ended up just like sabotaging it sneakily. And that was that. So yeah, that was the situation that happened to me over the like month and a half, and ended, I would say now, like 3 days ago. But I'm cool. After him and I were getting into the fight and he was just like, he started to like bail out, and when I knew he was going to, he started confessing to me like a bunch of stuff that I am so not done for, like morally, all that stuff. Like, it's just not for me. And so I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I need to do. And so yeah, I just want to say that I'm proud of myself, because before I would not have done what I did, and I probably would have stayed in and wasted my time like a little bit longer. But I did not do that. So anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you ever done that. Okay, well, anyways, please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.
For you, I know that you've been on my mind. Only you can get me right. You don't